How you doing, folks? My name is Kim Johnson, and I want to say hello to my audience out there. I want to also say Merry Christmas to those who celebrated. I hope it was a. This has been a year that you have spent with your family to learn new things about each other. You know, a time in which you embrace and get closer to one another. You know, because I believe that family is very important. You know, and that's what I want to say about that. I have a very touchy subject that I'm gonna talk about. Oh, y'all go. I believe you're gonna love this one. Yeah, boy. Mm, 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 mm. What could it be, huh? The gay community. Let's talk about that. Oh yeah. See, there seems to be something going on in the gay community that nobody wants to talk about. Okay. We're in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and we just had an election that took place in which we have a new governor of New Jersey and a new mayor. Those issues, the issues that I'm going to talk about, were never talked about. Okay, and we always talk to those people. Sometimes we always talk about take the pen from the left hand and put it in the right hand. Well, that sounds real good. Take the pen from the left hand, huh? And put it in the right hand. So if a baby is writing with his left hand, is his daddy going to take the pen from the left hand and put it in the right hand? Well, let's talk about that. Does it mean that the Democrats lose and the Republicans win? Well, I don't think it means that at all, period. I say that because there's some issues in the gay community that haven't been answered. Now, I don't know if you call that the left hand or if you call that the right hand, but I'll leave it up to my audience. A lot of name calling. Let me qualify myself again. I'm not a preacher. I'm not an ordained minister. I'm just a person that see things in the community sometimes, and I talk about them on video. I try to keep it as real as I can. The gay community is being represented by the American Civil Liberties Union, and I was a part of the American Civil Liberties Union for a little while, but I decided upon my own personal reasons to get out of that type of activity, you know, activists and different things like that, you know. There's some issues that haven't been hit on. There seems to be some type of genocide that's going on in that community, the gay community. Let's talk about it. Okay? In other words, some type of hatred against gays. Let's talk now, okay? Oh yeah, hatred. In other words, you have a whole lot of people that are not gay that are pretending to be gay to start a community problems in the gay community. Chris Christie. A lot of name calling to make people a public target of somebody else's hatred, somebody else's prejudice. And you know why it happened like that? Let's talk about it, Reverend. You know you ain't talked about this on no Sunday morning. You know you never have. See, it's one thing for Geno Jennings to sit back and talk about different things, but you're not hitting the roots of the problem either. The roots of it. There have been people that God have sent out in the community, in communities, to witness. Let me say that to Geno Jennings in Philadelphia. But you have those who thought that they was more qualified than those who was going out into the community, who wanted to voice their opinions on how it should be done. You understand that? Some type of hatred. Oh man, this is a good thing. A person's going out here to talk, give out a little bit of traction, a little streets. Yeah. Maybe it's a time in which I can put my treason in there. My my hatred. Yeah, tell them this. So you have people who will sit back and they'll try to tell a spokesman or somebody what to say to certain people. Yeah, so they can stir up some type of hatred, some type of hate message. But see, I remember this right here now. I remember this now. That once upon a time, you didn't have nothing to say about people who was going out in communities to talk about certain things when it came to the things of God. You didn't know how to do that. Now all of a sudden you have the answers on how they should do it. What state I'm talking from again? New Jersey. That's exactly why I'm making this video at. New Jersey. See, it's one thing for Chris Christie to sit back and call somebody 52 names. But I remember before you got elected, Mr. Christie, okay, that you sent a card out before you got elected as governor of this state that you and your wife or your family was church-going people. You said you was Christians. So if you don't have a message for people, then you just need to just back off because you don't know what you're talking about. That's the way to draw people away. So you need to leave things like that to people who are doing it. Don't try to voice your opinion. Don't tell them to go in there and vote for Republican, vote for Democrat. This is not a voting thing that you're talking about. But there seems to be some type of secret hits going on. People playing with people's emotions. Hatred. Different type of creeds. I remember an individual who signed a petition in concerning some events that went on in Ohio, in which people was in the Christian church was being prejudiced over people who was gay. But see, it's one thing for me to be led by my Bible convictions, and that's all I'm led by. I'm not led by no type of knowledge on what's going on in the community. All I am is just concerned about my personal convictions, which are my selfish convictions. I'm selfish, and you need to just say you're just selfish. In which people sign petitions so that other people could eat regardless of who they were. But the people who did that don't have any type of recognition. In other words, I just want to just mention the bad things that they do, but I ain't going to talk about how they went out to try to help people. They always got something to say. Nowadays, you got the jackleg preacher and the first lady in Walmart's dancing for people who tell them what to say when they're on the pulpit. Let's talk about it. I just don't want to offend nobody. I got a little envelope, a little cash in my little pocket, and I just don't want to offend nobody. Well, you don't have a message for anybody. You don't have a message. So, hatred in the community. You have straight people pretending that they're gay. Let's talk about that. Yeah, boy. Photographic memory, people, huh? You got a photographic memory. Well, we talked about that in my videos, didn't we? We sure did, good old Reverend. In which you could try to make a man look like a real woman in somebody's head. Playing little mind games. And people are afraid to talk about that because it makes them seem like that they need some type of medication. Something wrong with me. No, ain't nothing wrong with you. If you want a solution, then you got to talk about it. See, let me explain one thing about this. It's one thing to get up and testify that God gave you a brand new house in a Chrysler or some type of BMW. See, that ain't a crazy testimony. But if somebody gets up and tell you something like this, then they're crazy, ain't they? Well, those who have never had an experience of God may think that you're crazy if you say that God gave you that, right? Of course. So there's no crazy things in God. And see, Paul saw visions that no man has ever seen. Didn't he, Sister Know It All? He sure enough did, Sister Prophetess. He sure did. Paul saw visions that no other man ever saw. Did he see it? Huh? That he could not explain with his own mouth, didn't he? But somebody's playing with my head with a cell phone, and that's crazy, ain't it? But you believe that Paul saw the visions that he saw. You must be joking. You must be joking. Because some of the visions that people have seen, they can't explain it. But that don't sound crazy when you explain that. But when you explain something that's man-made to them, that's when it's crazy. Oh, that don't make no sense at all, man. That don't make no sense. So I'm saying to people in the gay community, watch yourself. Because you have those that have a secret target of hatred right up on your community. And you know what I told some people years ago? This is what I told them. Let's talk about what I said, Rev. I said after the petition was signed for the people to eat in Ohio, I told some people this. I said, if you was to tell Obama what they're doing in your community, then it's possibly you could have the Republicans and the Democrats eating out of your hands. Because you're looking for justice and playing with people with dope habits, going to tell people on jobs to touch a person in the breast. Don't worry about it, because we got you. Let's talk about it. Yes, knowing that somebody could probably really slam you somewhere. I'm just saying that because it could happen. So you have people that are sitting back looking for things like that to happen, so the police can get involved. The police is phony. They're not going to tell you what really happened. The FBI is lying. So, I mean, then I guess they want you to resist temptation, honey. Don't they, good old Rev? People with brown suits on, running around. Yeah, man. Oh, man. Oh, God. You ain't going to tell them, are you? Do you understand that, man? See, nowadays, you have people that are trying to entice the preachers on what to say to the next preacher. Let's talk about it, Reverend. You know I seen you do it. So I'll be careful when I make these videos, right, that I'm not led by somebody else, because nobody is paying me to do this. I should be getting paid for doing it. I believe that I should be, and it's no problem for me to think that. But because you're gay, don't let people use you. See, you don't know what type of message God got for the gay community, do you? See, I had a person tell me something. I never mentioned this. Guess what he told me? He wanted me to preach one sermon to him. Well, I'm not a preacher, but he liked the things that I said because he wanted to use me in the wrong way. Man, you must got me mixed up with everybody else, because I'm not going to let you do that, and I don't need your money in my pocket. What the government owes me is my money. So you can't come along and offer me some envelope of cash to say this to the next person. You understand that, man? You don't run these. Then you have a whole lot of women being disrespected. Women making videos now on other men. If you come to New Jersey, you probably have a whole album. You probably can learn more here about that, of how you can put women in the wrong situations. Idiots saying to other men that God said in the Bible, it is not good for man to be alone. Oh boy, it's not. God said it, huh? Yeah, it sounds real good, don't it? It is not good for man to be alone. That's what God said. And man was born first, and he made woman. See, they can tell you all of that. Woman from the rib of a man. Where's the woman placed at then? She was made from the right rib, huh? I guess she was. Maybe you should learn the meaning of the right rib. Okay? Before you go telling somebody that to start some type of confusion in their homes. Because if you really look at that, you're doing nothing but placing her above the man anyway. And jack-leg preachers know they're doing it. So you have a problem in that community in which you need to voice your concerns that people are being used in the gay community in the wrong way so that somebody else can do some bodily harm to some of them. And some of them are being used by police officers. Go up there and tell that man you love him. Oh, you don't think that goes on? It sure do go on. To start some type of trouble. Idiots playing God. So you need to be vigilant. And it's obvious the ones who are doing this dirty work don't have no type of message for you anyway, but some type of hate message in which they'll send some type of jackleg preacher to you to try to get your money out your pocket. That's all it is. No type of message for you. And I said that I feel as though this is a very important issue. See, I can sit back and tell you how your behavior offends me. I can tell you that. And I can tell you that it don't offend me. And I can sit back and point the finger all day long and do nothing about the condition that's going on. Because I just want to sound good. That's all it's about. Then you got idiots running up sitting this way with this leg crossed over here. Then you got this one sitting with this leg crossed over here. Well, if I sit with this leg crossed over here, does it mean that I'm half a man? Or do I need this leg to go over here to become a whole man? I said that for a reason to those of you who know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't know your left hand from your right hand. You don't know nothing. God ain't gave you no message to tell nobody else. And let me explain something to you too. I heard something. See, it's been those who have helped communities out. Now you got Donald Trump. He don't know what to do. Leave the job up to other people and stop dictating it. See, it's one thing that your government need to do. They need to let God be the appointed towards his work, and you can appoint and you can try to appoint those for what you need to do in politics. You need to keep politics out of it. Because there's a big difference. And when it comes to your political decisions, God got something to do with that anyway. So I hate to tell you that he's in the politics with you too. But those are some issues that Chris Christie didn't mention before he left as the governor. But it's one thing to go down to Irving, Texas, and right, Irving, Texas, with Jerry Jones. Well, you need to tell Jerry the truth next time you see him. Tell him it's some issues that was going on in New Jersey that you just couldn't face. I want to say, excuse me for this camera too, right? I bought some new cameras, man, and this thing is just it's acting up. So you may see little spots in this video, right? And this is a brand new one, so I can't really adjust it the way that I want to adjust it. But I believe that subject about the gays is very important. See, nowadays you have people that's going into the past of other people. Oh, let me tell you something right now. Going into the past, playing God. Trying to make people to confess things as if they're really God. I want you to confess this. Confess it, man. Because if you confess it, then it's right. Well, if I confess it and it's right, am I a Republican? Am I a person going to the Republicans or the Democrat? So you need to tell them something like that. Because only God is right anyway. That's the only one it is. So I want to say that, man, right? That's something you can keep in mind. is that there is a secret target in that community of some people trying to start some bodily harm to people in the gay community. And I'm going to put that out there. Y'all be blessed, and I'll be making more videos like this. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you.